horrible old air conditioner that doesn't really do much, but it's like 30 odd degrees, it's hot as shit. My air conditioner in my room is fucked, so I have to make do with this one. It's not great, it's noisy, and it doesn't do much, so yeah. This is my wheelchair. Move this out of the way for the moment. It's heavier than it looks. Right, so this is my wheelchair. Hopefully you can see it alright. It's pretty standard manual chair. This is the Highlight, and I think it's an Aero Z. From what I can remember, it's got it printed on the bottom there, but it's mostly been scratched off because I run into things. So this is my first ever wheelchair. So it does have a high back. I didn't know about the curve in my spine. I didn't know that I wouldn't sit back in my chair. And I didn't know that it puts a bit of extra weight on there. But what I did know was that I would need help pushing because prior to getting this, I didn't have a self-propelling wheelchair. So I knew I would need help for pushing and stuff. And I've never seen the shorter back chairs with handles. My handles are flip down, there's a button and they flip down, you just pop them back up. So then that way it sort of discourages people to grab onto my chair and push me when I'm out and about. So it folds down here. That usually locks into place. It doesn't lock the best, but you can still grab it from here and lift the chair if you need to. Other than that, it doesn't really fold down or anything. It's a rigid frame chair. Yeah. So it's pretty standard. It's an 18-inch seat because I have a big ass. Straight up, I do. We did have a crutch holder on the back as well, but we took it off because it was annoying, and the crutches would hit me in the back of the head. So yeah. I don't have them in here. I should have grabbed them. I do have anti-tips for my chair that I don't actually use anymore, mostly because the smart drive is usually sitting there, but I got the anti-tips because I freak out when my center of balance drops, so it freaks me out, and I can't go backwards, but if I did have to go backwards, or I tipped or something, I was just really afraid that I would keep falling and hit my head, and it would just be bad. But now that I'm a bit more confident with it, I've stopped. This thing here, that was the crutch holder. We just haven't taken that bit off yet. We took the rest off. What else? On the front, I don't know how well you can see, but there are little black things that flip down. They're supposed to be baggage, like a baggage holder. I don't know whether it's because it's badly designed or because my chair is so wide, but they are relatively useless. Sometimes I can manage to get a shopping basket to balance in between them, but it's very precarious at best, and yeah, they've just been kind of pointless. What else? I have sides and armrests on my chair. I use the armrest quite a bit because when I'm sitting and stuff I like to lean, so those being there means that I'm not leaning on the wheel or anything like that, which is great. We modified these because their normal height, that's their normal height, so Andrew clipped off the bottom and they just sit lower down, so then that way my arm clears when I'm pushing. What else? My wheels are just standard wheels. They have natural fit hand rims because I have trouble with pushing with non-natural fit ones. I get my fingers caught in the spokes and stuff, and like underneath where the wheel rim attaches to the wheel, I used to catch my fingers and break my nails and stuff. I don't know whether that's an inexperienced thing or whether it's just because I'm clumsy, but the natural fits are better for me. It also means like I've got this guard here, so because I push with this part of my hand a lot, so that means that I'm not hurting myself. And it's just a bit more to grip. So, what else? On the front there, I have a makeshift drink holder because I'm not going to pay $120 for one of their wheelchair drink holders when that setup cost us $4. It's broken at the moment, so I need to replace it again. I keep knocking into things with it, so I'm going to switch it to the other side, see if that helps. Cushion is just a fairly standard J Basic cushion, just like a foam one, nothing fancy. And apart from that, I've just got the smart drive, which you can see, hopefully that's the battery there. It clips onto this part of the chair and then sits on top of the bar that's underneath. And the buttons, one's here, one's on that side. And to mount the Omni wheel, which is actually a lot heavier than it looks, is that there? On the back here, I can't tip the chair out the other way because the battery falls out. But there's a cord, and on the camber tube here there is a mount. So you grab the smart drive and you lifting it up first. You can't do it this way because it's really difficult. You click it on, it drops down. You plug it in. There's an arrow on there that tells you which way is the top. It makes a beep beep noise, and then you can turn it on and you can go. So I'll turn it off while I move it because so that just sits on the ground. You gotta make sure it doesn't wiggle. Like it sits just on the ground, and it shouldn't wiggle. It should be fairly solid. Smart Drive has 2 modes. So you push the button, hold it down, that's on. Solid light is indoor mode, and indoor mode is basically you just push like normal, and eventually it will kick in and help you with some parts and stuff. It'll just go, and you can stop it by grabbing the wheels like you normally would stop with a wheelchair. Okay? Yeah. So indoor mode, solid light, it will just kick in every so often. Usually, it does usually help with like hills and stuff like that, but it might not go all the way, kind of thing. Hit it again. I like this. This one is really good because you just slap it. I can't do it from this angle, but you can you don't have to hit it. You can just slap it. So you press the button again. You have a blinking light. Blinking light indicates that it's in outdoor mode. Outdoor mode, it will go, and it will go, and it will go, and it doesn't stop until you hit the button again. When it's turned off outdoor mode, it'll hit it again. So you end up having to hit it twice if you've got to switch from outdoor to indoor really quickly, which is why there's a button on each side, and you don't have to hold it in or anything. You can, but if you can only maybe use the backs of your hands or something, you can slap them. Again, I can't do it from this angle, but you don't have to push the button, you can just slap it, which is good. Indoor mode, you can stop by pulling the wheels like you normally stop. Outdoor mode, it won't work. It will keep going no matter how hard you grip the wheels. It will just keep going. It's designed to help you outside, up hills, all sorts of stuff. The faster you push it when you start it up, the faster it will go for outdoor mode. And yeah, the smart drive is pretty much the reason I can get around on my own now. I had a lot of trouble with it before, but yeah. What's really annoying, really frustrating, is this, and the battery for it costs more than the actual wheelchair. I didn't pay that much for it. I got really lucky, but this thing is worth more than this wheelchair. We had to pay for the wheelchair, but yeah. So that's my wheelchair. I'm just gonna unplug it, take that off again. You just like sort of pull it up and you lift it pretty much the reverse way that you put it on. I need to adjust the brakes actually, they've slipped out a bit, that's the only downside. So foot plate is flip down foot plate, and yeah. So sitting wise, normally what they do is when you get a wheelchair, they tell you to hold your arms like this and they adjust the seat down because your hand is supposed to be about here in the middle. Mine's not. I could bear to go down a little bit lower. The downside to that though is I wouldn't be able to see over counters and stuff like that because most things in my area are not accessible. So yeah. So as you can see, I sort of grab here and I push like that with my hand around. Yeah. I don't know what else to really say. This is my chair. I don't know how to wheelie it. I've never been able to pick it up. I'm not going to try now, it's just going to end badly. So I only use this when I go out. I can't use it in my house. My house is not accessible. Actually, to get this inside the house, I have to drag it up some stairs. Yeah. So that's my chair. I'm pretty lucky that I'm semi-abled because, like I said, my house is not accessible. So at home I walk and I don't use my chair. And yes, that's my wheelchair.